So next we'll be discussing our last topic. So that is magnetic property in solids. Okay. So we know all the substance which is present around us. So that will be having some kind of magnetic property. Either it will be attracted towards magnetic field or it will be repelled from magnetic field, right? So now why this happens? Because the atom, in the sense what the electrons will be present. So due to the presence of electron, this magnetic movement will be, or the magnetic field arising of magnetic field will be seen in any of the element. Okay. So now here the magnetic property is mainly due to, because of, see now if I consider atom. Okay. So central nucleus will be present. So here electrons are revolving, right? So electrons are revolving around the orbital, right, in a circular path. So now this, the movement will be divided as two types. So one is known as orbital motion, and the second one is known as spin motion. Okay. So two types are there. Two types of movement will be seen. One is known as orbital motion and another is known as spin motion. Now what is meant by orbital motion? Orbital motion is nothing but if the electrons are revolving in its circular path. Okay. So in the orbital, if electrons are moving, okay, in its own orbital, if the electrons are moving in a circular path, so that will be considered as orbital motion. So this will be possible with the electron. And what is meant by spin motion? Here the electrons are revolving, or it will spin in its own axis. Okay, the electrons which is moving in circular path, so those electrons are moving, or it is spinning in its own axis. Okay, so with that spin it revolves in that circular path. So that kind of motion will be considered as spin motion. So due to the presence of these two kinds of motion, the magnetic field will arise in particular substance. Okay. So due to these two reasons, a magnetic movement or magnetic field will be seen with the particular substance. So magnetic property we have divided as 5 types. Okay. So one is known as paramagnetism, diamagnetism, ferromagnetism, antiferromagnetism and ferrimagnetism. So there are 5 magnetic properties are there in solids. Okay. So one by one we will see. So these all are important. Okay. With the definition they can ask, in the sense they can ask what is meant by paramagnetism, and they can ask you to give the example. Okay. So for staying in for like 2 marks also this questions will be asked. Now, as a difference also it can be asked with ferro as well as antiferro. Okay, so on that way the question can arise. Okay, so now we'll say first what is mean by paramagnetism. Okay, so here what will happen? The substance whatever you will take, so this will be attracted towards the magnetic field. Okay, the substance whatever you will take. For example, if you if you show any of the external magnetic field. Okay, so by that what will happen? This substance will be attracted towards the magnetic field. Okay, it will get attracted towards the magnetic field. So those substances are called as paramagnetism. So here it is attracted by the magnetic field. So that kind of substance we are going to consider as paramagnetism. Okay, so now if I go with the example, okay, so just write down the examples which belongs to this. So that is, you can take oxygen, you can take manganese sulfate, okay, as well as copper sulfate. Okay, so these salts, okay, are examples for paramagnetism. Okay, so now how it shows the paramagnetic property, just one example I gave. Okay, just to understand the concept. They won't ask you to explain it. Okay, so now if I go with the copper sulfate, so if I write copper, what is the atomic number or number of electrons which is present with the copper? That is 29. So if I write the electronic configuration of copper, I'll just consider the last shell electronic configuration. Okay, so it comes as 3d10 4s1, right? So now if you go with the copper sulfate, here what will be the oxidation state of copper? That is +2, as well as here sulfate it is -2. So that this cross it will get cancelled, right? So here oxidation state of copper configuration. The sense plus 2 in the sense what? It will lose 2 electrons. So from outermost shell, 1 electron, as well as the next shell, that is 3D. From here 1 electron it will lose. So the electronic configuration will come as 3d9 4s 0, right? So 3d9 will be the electronic configuration. If I write orbital structure for this, so how it comes? D orbital in the sense, how many suborbital I'm supposed to write? So that is 5, right? So 3d9, 9 electrons are present. Distribute the electrons. So it comes as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 according to which rule? Okay. Continue. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So 9 electrons are given in the orbital. Now you can see, you can observe 1 electron is unpaired, right? So here all electrons are paired, 1 electron is unpaired form. So due to the presence of this unpaired electron, it will go with magnetic property, or it shows magnetic property. So that magnetic property will be considered as paramagnetism. Okay. So due to the presence of unpaired electron, it will get attracted towards magnetic field. Okay. So this substance will attract towards magnetic field due to the presence of unpaired electron. So this will be considered. So this example we are going to consider under paramagnetism. So we can say if unpaired electrons are present, so then it will attracted by magnetic field. So that example we can consider under paramagnetism. Okay. So this another example I will just explain. It will go with the manganese sulfate. Okay. So manganese sulfate in a sense manganese. So the total number of electrons, that is 25. So the outer shell electronic orbital electronic configuration comes as 3d54s2, right? So now here manganese, again here plus 2 oxidation state. So plus 2 in the sense 2 electrons are supposed to remove. It comes as 3d5. If I draw the orbital structure, how I can draw the orbital structure? 3d5, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 unpaired electrons are present. The electron which is present in d orbitals, all are unpaired electrons. So we can say manganese sulfate, it is strong, it is having strong magnetic field when you compare with the copper. As the number of unpaired electron increases, we can say that magnetic property will go on increasing. Now if you consider with another example, that is oxygen. You know the oxygen electronic configuration O2, if you write in this form, you won't get unpaired electron. But why we are considering it as paramagnetism? Because in 11th standard we have learned regarding the concept like MOT. So if you write oxygen electronic configuration in terms of MOT structure, by then you can observe the presence of unpaired electron, right? Presence of unpaired electron will be seen. So it comes under, in the sense, you know, if unpaired electrons are present, so then it shows great attraction towards magnetic field. So we can say it is paramagnetism. To find or to calculate paramagnetic or in the sense magnetic property, we have a formula that is in terms of mu. Okay. So here magnetic moment, mu represents magnetic moment, square root of n into n plus 2. So what is n? N is nothing but number of unpaired electrons. So here in the case of paramagnetism, mu value will be high. Okay, so it will be having some mu value in the case of paramagnetism. So this is nothing but paramagnetic property. Okay, I guess you understood the concept. Next, we'll go for diamagnetism. Okay, so diamagnetism is nothing but here what will happen? See, the examples we will consider like glass, water. Okay, so in these all the cases, if you will write the structure of these, okay, you can identify there it will be, doesn't have unpaired electron. All the electrons are paired over here. Okay, the central atom if you consider, so all the electrons will be paired. Okay, so if all the electrons are paired, in a sense it will not show any affinity towards magnetic field. So here there is no attraction towards a magnetic field with the diamagnetic substance. Okay, there is no attraction of magnetic field will be seen over here. Why? Because of absence of unpaired electron. Okay, or you can write because of presence of paired electron. Okay, so now here the property mainly we can say if it is having unpaired electron, then it causes in the sense paramagnetic property it will show. so that we can say it shows magnetic property. It is having great affinity towards magnetic field. Okay, so that is nothing but paramagnetism and diamagnetism. Next one, it is nothing but ferromagnetism. So here what is meant by ferromagnetism? Here it shows more affinity towards magnetic field. We can say here it is strongly attracted. Okay, ferromagnetic substances these are strongly attracted towards magnetic field. Okay, so these are strongly attracted towards magnetic field. Examples, metals you can consider. You know metals are attracted towards magnetic field, right? Okay, so we can consider metals like iron, nickel, any metals we can consider. Okay, so you know iron in the sense if we take it shows different oxidation state, plus as well as plus 3 oxidation state will be positive with iron. As well as you have already also studied this metal. Okay, if you go with the structure, because these are crystalline solids, right? When you go with the structure, these metallic solids will show metallic solid structure will be seen. Okay, all the metals are neatly arranged. Metallic solids, okay, kind of structure will be seen with this, okay, ferromagnetism. And here, due to the presence of metal, you can see the two movement, in the sense dipole moment, two sides movement will be seen. Okay, iron, what will happen? It forms +2 as well as +3. How? By losing of electron. All the negative charge will go to one side. Okay, as well as the electron, whatever it will give, right? Okay, by giving electron, it gets positive charge. Okay, so this will be there another side. So dipole moment will be seen, or we can say like domain. Okay, formation of domain will be seen, or dipole moment will be seen in the case of ferromagnetism. Okay, so two sides movement of the positive as well as negative concepts will be seen, will be seen in the case of your ferromagnetism. Okay, two sides movement will be seen. So formation of dipole moment or domains will be seen in the case of ferromagnetism. So here in whole structure in crystal, that is you can see this kind of structure, the arrangement of this kind of structure will be seen. So here if I say the ferromagnetism, I take any one of the example, iron or nickel. Before applying magnetic field, so how it will be, how it is arranged before applying magnetic field. So those are randomly arranged. Okay, so random arrangement will be seen with the domains. Okay, but when you apply magnetic field, for this, when you will apply the magnetic field, by that time the certain arrangement will be seen. Same order the arrangement will be seen. So in ferromagnetic, substances. Okay, so this kind of structure will be seen. Now, if you will, after arranging, if you will remove the magnetic field, I guess you understood. Before applying magnetic field, those domains are randomly arranged. Okay, so once you will apply magnetic field, by that time the proper arrangement will be seen with the domains. So now you remove the magnetic field. After removing magnetic field also, the domain structure will be there as it is. It will not change. Okay, the domain structure will not change. It will remain as it is. So we can say this ferromagnetism or ferromagnetic substances, it will appear permanent magnetism. Okay, ferromagnetism or ferromagnetic substance will appear permanent magnetism. Why we are saying it is attaining permanent magnetism? Because after removing magnetic field also, here there is no disturbance with the domain structure. So it is there as it is, how it was there on magnetic field. Okay, for that reason, so this will appear permanent magnetism. So this is regarding ferromagnetism. Okay, examples or the methods you can give as an examples. Now if you will go with the anti-ferromagnetism. Anti-ferromagnetism in the sense what? Here the structure, the concept will be seen like ferromagnetism itself. In the sense it will be arranged in this way. Okay, in the sense randomly oriented. But when you apply magnetic field, certain arrangement will be seen in terms of this also. Okay, but the thing is, the arrangement will be seen with the opposite direction. Okay, the arrangement of domains will be seen opposite direction. Now consider these are the domains. Okay, so now in opposite order, in the sense here plus minus, minus plus, plus minus, minus plus. So here if this is arranged in this way, another domain is arranged in opposite order. Okay, so in this way arrangement will see. So what will happen due to this? Now here the opposite arrangement, if it is seen in the sense, the dipole moment will get cancelled with each other. So net charge, if I write for this, that is 0. Okay, so here the dipole moment of these two will get cancelled with each other. So due to that reason, the dipole moment or your magnetic moment or the net charge, we are going to get it as 0. So this will happen. So there is no attraction towards magnetic field in the case of antiferromagnetism. So examples for this, if I am writing manganese oxide, manganese dioxide, diamagnesis. So these are some of the examples which comes under antiferromagnetism. Okay, so this is regarding antiferromagnetic property. The last property, that is nothing but the last time, that is considered as ferrimagnetism. So here what will happen? It is a slight attraction towards magnetic field. Okay, slight little attraction will be seen towards magnetic field. So that will be considered as ferrimagnetic field. So slight attraction will be seen with this. So now if we will go with the arrangement. So here also the same thing will happen. The domain will be present over here. The domain arrangement will be seen with the, in the sense it is rearranged. Okay, so in certain particular manner it is arranged, but the arrangement will be seen with the different order over here also. Okay, in the sense if some domains are arranged neatly, in the sense in proper manners, it is arranged. Some other domain, it is like in opposite direction. Okay, so it can be in opposite direction. Okay, so this can continue. So it will be there in opposite direction. So this is there in the correct manner. Okay, so this will be there in the opposite direction in this way. Okay, arrangement will be seen. So here also the value of magnetic movement, it varies. Okay, sometimes what will happen? This, for example, in this case, if you see the magnetic moment will cancel with each other, so that you will get 0. The net charge you will get as 0 in this case. So here it will arise as some of the dipole moment. So magnetic moment will be seen over here. So here the magnetic moment will vary, okay, with the values of ferromagnetism. So this kind of structure will be considered as ferrimagnetism. So here what will happen for this ferrimagnetic structure, if you give heat, in the sense temperature when you will give, it is possible that ferrimagnetism you can convert into paramagnetism. Okay, by giving temperature, it is possible that ferrimagnetism substances can convert into paramagnetism. Okay, if I write the examples for this, Fe3O4, okay, magnetite, as well as some of the ferrite you can give as an example, Mg, Fe2O4, zinc, Fe2O4, some of the ferrites those are. Okay, so those are, as I have told, so these are the types of magnetic property. Paramagnetism, more attraction towards magnetic field. Diamagnetism, there is no attraction towards magnetic field. Ferromagnetism, these are strongly attracted towards magnetic field. Antiferromagnetism, again there is no attraction towards magnetic field. Ferrimagnetism, there is a slight attraction towards magnetic field, but if you increase the temperature with this, it can convert ferrimagnetism into paramagnetic property. Okay, so you have to remember with the examples also. Examples are very important with this. So this is regarding today's class and end of the chapter. Okay, so this is regarding solid state. Thank you.